Alright guys, I'm gonna give you a nice tutorial on how to get 0 views on a video on YouTube because most people can like at least get like a couple, but I'm just gonna theorize that this video is gonna get fucking 0 views. So let's just get to it, shall we? Alright, so it's the Christmas season and you've just been invited to your boss's house, and it's not really that you were invited, it's that you were forced to go to a mandatory after hours unpaid Christmas party for your work. And you're meant to think that this is some kind of a treat for you when it could be nothing further from the truth. So you may be wondering, how am I going to get out of this? And unfortunately, your boss is going to hate you if you don't go. So what you have to do is you have to find a way around interacting with the people there, because really that is what you're trying to avoid. I mean, you really don't like being in someone else's like big fancy nice house when your house is like a little poo box, you know, because that's probably what you're living in, going to this house that's really nice and seeing the house of the person like in all their wealth that is, you know, supported by all your hard work. It's really great. It just kind of like digs a little knife in how much you don't want to be there. Basically, I've come up with some strategies to just get around having to interact with these people and just survive the Christmas party. So there's gonna be some prep work. Before you go to the Christmas party, you need to try and get a gauge of what people are gonna wear. Like, try and think of what people are gonna wear to a Christmas party. Kind of know the crowd and know the kind of stuff they wear. For instance, if you have a very like festive crowd, a very excitable crowd, they're probably gonna wear a lot of red and green to the Christmas party. And so in that case, it would be good to wear red or green to it. And it would be a good idea to make sure that you're not wearing a very bright shade of either of these. Like, try and bring it down to as neutral as possible. Like, wear like a dark, deep, like almost wine red, or wear like a nice like forest green color. You don't want it to pop amongst the crowd, because then people are going to see you and they're going to know, wow, that's a bright shirt, and they're going to think of you and they're going to just visually look for you because you're the one that stands out amongst the crowd. And if they're looking at the crowd and they aren't seeing you, then they're going to know you aren't there, and you don't want that. That is bad news. You don't want them to realize you aren't there. And then they'll just assume that you're there anyway. And if they're really drunk, because I mean, it's a Christmas party and a lot of people are probably going to be drinking in order to try to pretend like they're having a good time. Even though just anyone actually, does anyone like genuinely like feel joy when they go to those parties? I'm like really curious. That's a serious question. But anyways, so they're going to be drinking, and it's probably going to be too much work for them to look for you if they can't just like quickly visually see you. So step one, pick a nice darker shade of outfit that doesn't stand out. Next one is, before you go to the party, you need to bring some supplies. And the supplies you need to bring, I'm going to get into why they're important later, but I'll just name them off. Bring something that is like nice and comfy, like a really compact blanket. Bring battery powered string lights, something with like nice lighting. It's good to bring a pen, a paper, and tape with you. And instead of bringing a little side bag with you, it's a good game plan to wear a nice little backpack. Not like a school backpack, but like a little leather backpack or something like that that makes it look like you kind of dressed up, but is going to be a place where you can easily store these kind of items. Like, don't bring a little clutch. Like, you're gonna be screwed if you do that. Don't do it. And now that we have all of your supplies and outfit worked out, you're at the party now. And timing is key here. You need to make sure that you get there kind of early, not super early. You do not want to be the first person there, because if you are the first person there, then your boss, like, their attention is going to be fully on you. And so if their attention is fully on you, then you are going to, it's going to be harder for you to kind of dip out at that point. So you maybe want to be like, maybe like the 6th person there, because 5 is a nice little group. And so, and you can, they kind of move around and can kind of form their own group. So it's easier to kind of just, you know, kind of just weave your way out casually without being noticed, because you want to be very inconspicuous. And so Once you have got there, and you've gotten there at just the right time, you need to find a space with no one in it, a completely vacant space. And that is one of the reasons why you don't want to get there too late, is because there will not be vacant spaces. Trust me on that. And so after you've found your space, make sure, 'cause the space can't just be any space. There are a few qualifications it needs to have. One is you need to make sure the space has a completely solid door. It can't be in like an open space. It can't have a glass door. It won't do, because you're going to be behind that door, and if anyone can see you, then you're screwed. Your position is given away and you've done it wrong. Okay? And so the next thing you need to look for is that your space has a window in it. And it specifically needs to be a first story window, because I'm not looking to have anyone jump out like an above first story window and die. That's just not what I'm looking for. We're not doing that. The whole point is to survive the Christmas party, not like fucking traumatize everyone at the Christmas party. I know we don't like them, but we don't hate them that much, and we definitely don't hate ourselves that much, right? Anyways, so when you're picking the space, the next thing you need to look for is, and this is really the final like thing that you need to look for in it, is that there's somewhere to sit. You're going to be in there for a while, and so you need to be able to get comfortable. You're not going to want to stand there for like, God, how long do those fucking parties last? Like 3 hours? God, I want to cry just thinking about that right now. That sounds fucking horrible. Let's just be honest. Ugh. Okay. So let's just backtrack and I'll tell you all at once. It needs to be on the first story, and it needs to have a window. It needs to have a completely solid door, and it needs to have somewhere to sit. In the diagram I have here, you see we have a person. They're very happy in it. And the reason why they're happy is because they have successfully followed all of my steps that you're going to get. And if you don't follow it, you're going to see later on in the diagram, if it hasn't already happened, that things can get really bad. There's a little guy that's going to be in here, and he's not going to have followed my instructions, and he's going to be very sad about it. And that isn't to scare you off, it's just a cautionary tale. Even though, isn't that kind of what a cautionary tale is? That's scaring people off. Whatever, you know what I mean. I'm not trying to, I'm trying to tell you why my strategies are the best, basically. Now that you have somewhere to sit, in the image here you can see it's a nice window seat, and we have a nice big window. Now that you're in there, you need to find at least one cat. And you may say, what if your boss doesn't have a cat? And to that I say, this is obviously not what you should do at a Christmas party. You're gonna get fired if you do all of this shit. So don't do any of this. We're just trying to mentally come up with a nice form of escapism when we're trying to think of our stupid Christmas party right now. This is all a joke, obviously. So just stick with me, you know? Let's just pretend. Since we're in a land of pretend right now in this video, let's just say that there are cats. There's at least one, but you want to find several cats. But one cat will do. It really needs to be a nice cat. We're not looking to force any cats to do anything they don't want to do. That's important. The cats do what they want, but they really are important for this. And if you can't find any cats, the plan will still work. The cats are a nice buffer, and I'm gonna explain to you later why they're a really good asset for you in this situation. Because I'm gonna tell you, because I mean, this plan theoretically should be foolproof, but it's not, to be honest, because, you know, there's always some kind of a ding-dong head that just ruins stuff. Some big outgoing guy named Frank who just really is like hell-bent on just having the most fucking long, draining conversation with everyone, and it's about nothing good. I swear to God, it's about nothing good. And then you have your boss that comes out and they fucking ask you prying questions that are honestly very stupid and ignorant to ask. Like, Jesus Christ, like things that could be like very like triggering for people. Like, how was your childhood? Tell me about your childhood. It's like, why would you just like go and ask someone that? Because that could be like a horrible thing to ask. And I'm not just making up that last one. My boss really did at one point ask me, how was your childhood? And I was just like, I don't know, I guess it was normal. And then she was like, okay, like it was a weird answer. And it's like, well, bitch, you fucking asked me a weird fucking question. And the answer is my childhood was fucking horrible. So it's like, what kind of an answer do you want? You're my boss. Like, do you want me to like cry in front of you and be like, it was awful? It's like, no. It's like, just, god damn, man. Did you just like assume that everyone had a good childhood? The fuck, man. Anyway, sorry about that rant. Where was I? Oh, yes. So theoretically, the plan should be foolproof, but someone could find you realistically. Even though this all is really just a joke and you shouldn't do this stuff, to be like fully transparent with you, I don't want you guys to get fired. In this world of being theoretical and just imagining escape plans, you'd pack a nice bazooka with you and shoot that person that found you with it. And again, this is all theoretical. Like, imagine like a cartoon. Like, you don't actually want to like shoot anyone with a bazooka. Just like imagine like Looney Tunes kind of style action. They'd come back and like a second later, like totally fine. But you know, you just kind of want them to know that they aren't wanted there and that they need to leave you the f alone. But they can't take a hint, so what are you gonna do, right? You're gonna follow this plan is what you're gonna do. All right, back to the cats that we've tried to get back to before, but keep getting away from them. Get those cats. In this situation, we are assuming that there are cats. And in the diagram, you'll see that there are 4 cats, because 4 cats is a nice number of cats. And cats are very good in this situation. Honestly, they're much better than dogs in this situation, because cats are pretty, not all cats, but cats generally speaking, from my experience, are much more chill than dogs. For instance, I did go to a party once. It wasn't a work party. It was a high school party, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I went in another room, and there was a dog in there, and I mean, the dog was much more appealing than the people. However, it was being weird. It just was like compulsively humping this pillow, and I later found out that that was just what the pillow was for. The dog just humped it. Just obsessively, so that wasn't good. And so you're trying to really calm down as much as you can. You're not going to get fully calm probably, but let's just work on feeling the least amount of anxious as possible. So probably don't find a dog, because it's just like not good to watch them compulsively hump pillows. I don't know if the female ones do that too, but let's just assume they will. I'm not a super dog person. I'm more of a cat person, even though dogs can be fun, but not when they're humping pillows like that. We don't want that. So get the cats, okay? God, I keep diverging away from the cats. Let's just get the cats, and let's also stay on topic, even though, God, I might not. Whatever. All right, get the cats, bring them to your safe space, and you need to do this in as quick of a time as possible. However, if the cats aren't feeling it, don't drag them in. I think I already mentioned that. Maybe I didn't. Whatever. Obviously, I'm not even paying attention to myself, so how do I expect you to pay attention to me? Because I have something you want. I have how to survive an office Christmas party. I guess it's not office. It's a work Christmas party at your boss's house while being an introvert. Even though still, don't forget, don't actually follow this. Don't get fired, please. And if it does work out for you, then like, cool, good for you. I helped you out. But anyways, back to the cats that I've gotten away from like 8 times now. Realistically, like 4 or 5, right? Anyways, god damn it, back to the fucking cats. Okay. So now that you have those cats in your space, just remember that it's important to befriend them. You want to create an army of little fluffy guys. That is essential. You don't want to make enemies with them, and you don't want to like keep cats that aren't into being around you in a space with you. And so now that you've befriended the cats and they're in your space, what you need to do is you need to take out that pen and paper and tape from your bag. Don't forget about that. I told you those supplies were going to come in handy, and I was not lying to you. So take the paper, write something on the piece of paper like, do not enter bathroom out of order. And this is important, okay? And you might say there's a flaw in this, and there is, but there also isn't, because this is a hypothetical situation, even though the work party isn't. Ugh. Fuck it, whatever. Let's just say this is gonna work because we just want it to, right? Isn't that how a lot of movies and media work? Things work out because they're written that way. Like, let's have an ex machina moment here, shall we? All right, so you're gonna put something like that on the room, and it's going to say something along the lines of like bathroom out of order. See, the secret is that the room that you're using right now is not a bathroom. You do not want to be in the bathroom because that is going to be a frequently trafficked area. And so you're going to put it on a little separate room or a little separate space. People won't necessarily need to go into because they already have a different bathroom. And if you're at your boss's house, they probably already have a very nice house anyway. And so they probably will have more than one bathroom, unlike you who has a nice studio apartment with the bathroom just like in the fucking like bedroom, like an open air bathroom, and it's advertised like that open air bathroom, and it's like, no, it's just a fucking toilet in my bedroom. That's what it is. That does not happen to me, but I have seen that listed before, and it was just like, wow, really? You're just gonna go and have a toilet in the bedroom? How, like, and you're gonna charge like not absolute bottom dollar for that? Oh, I heard my cat. See, befriending cats. Hold on a sec, I'm gonna have to go get her. If you're lucky, you'll get to hear my cat meow for you. There we go. You guys got a good one. See, befriend the cats. They're an introvert's best pal. All right. So, oh God, now that I've gotten distracted for the millionth time. All right, so you're gonna make a sign that says something along the lines of like, bathroom out of order, do not enter. The room that you're going to be posting the sign on does not need to be a bathroom. Your boss is probably rich and has like a 15 bathroom house anyway. So what you can go ahead is just bet that everyone's just going to go to the next bathroom, and rather than attracting them to the room that you're in, it's really going to make them want to stay away from it, because when you see there's a bathroom that's out of order, you kind of worry that there's something horrible and disgusting going on in there. So you're probably good to go. People probably aren't going to put too much effort into getting in there. They're gonna try and, you know, even stay away from the door, which is, it's good. You want them to just not be anywhere near it. Once you've made the sign, you can go ahead and tape it to the door quickly and conspicuously, and then you need to lock it. So now you're in your room, and it might seem kind of stark and just not a welcoming place, which is where the final supplies come into place. You can take out your battery-powered string lights, and you can hang them up, or at least lay them out in some sort of a way that gives you some nice, calming lighting. And after that, take out your cozy, compact blanket and cuddle up with it. Hang out with your little cats in the sitting spot by the window. You can even crack it open for some fresh air. Anyways, you should be good to go at this point. But as I mentioned, theoretically, although you should be fine, realistically, something could go wrong. Someone could have spotted you going into your little sanctuary with your little cat pals, and they may give away your position. So what I've done is I have went ahead and I've built in some buffers to the steps I've listed previously. The first one is you've locked the door, so no one can just burst in instantly. You have a little buffer of time here. So you have time to kind of sort something out. I mean, they may eventually get in. The best scenario if this happens is that they'll see the door is locked. They'll be like, oh, I'm just not gonna worry about that then. And then they'll just leave. It's fine. You're good to go. But if they continue and they're being annoying and stupid, which, God, the kind of people that I'm listing off in here would probably can keep trying to get in, which sucks, because it's like, just go. I don't want to talk to you. There's a difference between me being polite to you and me actually liking talking to you, because you're just like fucking so, like, you just pry so much. And I just, and then if you do say something that is personal, then they really just like, they never act in a way that really is satisfying. Like, it's like they're like, oh, my cat's back. No, don't scratch at my chest. What the hell? Why'd you do that, you beautiful cat? Okay. Are you gonna be in my lap? You never do that. Aww. Oh. She just meowed right into the mic. Wow. A nice cat intermission, if you will. I don't know what got into her. She was laying down and then she just popped up. Anyways, I've gotten distracted again. And it's gonna keep happening, it seems. Oh my god, this is so fucking chaotic. My cat interrupting me making a video is like the top amount of chaos I can handle. I'm very bad under stress and pressure. And as you can tell, I get distracted very easily. What in the world are you doing? What are you doing? Anyways, whatever. Not whatever to her. Whatever to me getting distracted. Can I please just stop getting distracted? I need a brain that can actually fucking operate in a way that can keep me on task. Alright, let's try to not get distracted. Let's just play a game. Let's play a nice party game called Let's Try to Just Keep on Topic. I'm not very good at this game. I'm good at some games. I'm very good at Clue. Like, I will fucking destroy you at Clue. And if you think you're great at Clue, then shit, you might be. I don't ever want to play with you because I literally, no one's ever beat me. Anyways, god damn it, I got distracted again. Woo! Alright. Oh god. Okay. Alright. Which step were we on? Alright. So I think we are at the point where I said you have a buffer of time at this point. And if you're annoying, if the annoying person that's like tracking you down, like the predator, does in fact get in, or does like is persistent in jiggling the handle, this is why you have the first story window to exit from. You can exit from it. You can just open up the window and get the fuck out of there. And if everyone is super busy just like having their heads up each other's butts and like pretending like they're having a good time when they're all just like campaigning to be seen as like awesome and just manipulating each other into thinking that they're good workers when their work doesn't really speak for it. Let's just be honest. Not always. There are outgoing people that are very good at what they do, but there are some that are so goddamn bad at it, and then they get so much credit, and it's like, did you realize that that person just doesn't like do anything? They just like talk a lot and you like them. Did you know? I think I should just give up on not getting distracted. That seems to not be possible. So I'm just gonna roll with it, and we're gonna see how many tangents we can get through here. And hopefully at the end arrive at the point, because sometimes it's the journey and not the destination. God, do you like how I just got distracted again? Jesus Christ. All right, moving on. All right, so you can just skip out of that window. Just get the fuck out of there. And, you know, get your stuff before you go, obviously. So, like, you hear the jiggling handle, it's not stopping. You gather your stuff up, you get out the window. However, this can even fall through. And, like, say they break in before you get a chance to get out the window, or say something along the lines of, like, you can't get the window open, or there's, like, some kind of, like, a obstacle outside of the window. Like, you see, like, you look out underneath of there, and there's, like, somewhere, like, something, like, underneath of it that, like, is gonna make it so you can't, like, get out safely. Safety is important. Don't forget that. You can go ahead, and that's where the cats come into play. And if you don't have the cats there, then I'm so sorry. I'm getting distracted by my cat again. She's very talkative. So really, just, in theory, let's just say that the cats will manifest there at this point. What's important is that the cats are going to act as an excuse for you to be in the room. Because as you may have experienced, I know I have, if this like annoying, super extroverted, just like up your ass person finds you in there, they're gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing in here by yourself? And then you're gonna like be like, oh god, I don't know what to say. But if you have the cats, then you have a reason to be in there. It's brilliant. You're just like, oh my god, like I found like the boss's cats and they're so cool, and I just like came in here and like the door must have like slammed behind me and like locked or something. And at this point, the person that's like after you is probably like very sloshed, so they're not gonna even notice. They're not even gonna notice that was weird. They're like, oh yeah, cats, and they're gonna go away. And so you might be safe at this point. That's what we're hoping. The cats are a very good buffer, and that's also why it's important to befriend them, because at this point, like, you need to make your story believable. And you need to have the cats like rubbing up against your leg and like nuzzling you and stuff like that, because then he's gonna see that and he's gonna be like, yeah, those cats like love you, man. And it's gonna be like, yeah, I know. And then, I mean, you're not lying. Cats do love you. You befriended them. They're your allies. They understand like where you're coming from, because most cats like don't want to be like Not all of them. I hate having to say that because it's like obviously not all of them. But not, some cats are party cats and they want to hang out with a big group of people. But a lot of cats, when there's like a lot of people, they want to go off and hide. So it makes sense they go off in the secluded place all by themselves. And then you'd see them and then you'd be interested because they're cats and cats are cool and they particularly like you. It seems like they like you more than the other people. So you're drawn in. It's a story. Do story buildings. Make it believable. And so that should work. You should be fine at that point. Even if the initial plan fails, you have your fall through plan and that should work. And everything should be good if you follow the plan, basically. However, I do have in this diagram an unfortunate scenario of not following my plan. Like, you've messed up and you haven't watched this video and you've gone to this party and you've just hoped for the best. And what I found is that hoping for the best isn't gonna work. And so I'm gonna demonstrate for you what's probably gonna happen. So as you see, we have this little guy, and his first mistake is that he has no supplies. None at all. And he dressed in a bright color of red. He stands out. Everyone visually can pick him out of a crowd, and their eyes naturally are drawn to his bright red sweater that is so much brighter than everyone else's. And so they're looking for him, and when he's not there and he hasn't been there for a while, they start to wonder, where is giant, big, bright red sweater guy? And so they go ahead and they go looking for him. He's supplyless, he's wearing the wrong thing. And the other thing that he did is that he fucked up. He either got there too early, he was either the first person there, and the boss has not taken their eyes off of him, and they've really been like stuck to him for nearly the entire time until he was able to break away at this very moment. Or he got there way too late and all of the spaces were taken up. All of the empty spaces. And all of the cats were already befriended. And now he's just off on his own. He's in the wild. And now he's stuck just with nowhere to go. And to make things worse, the only thing he was able to find to hide behind is a green plant that really just showcases how red his sweater is, and he's doomed. And the annoying, drunk, competitive talking office extrovert is here, and even in her drunken haze, she can see his red sweater. And she's gonna force him to have an awkward conversation, and not only at this point is it going to be awkward small talk, like I mentioned before, but she is going to be really awkward, and she's going to point out that he was hiding behind a tree, and she's gonna bring that up to everyone at the party. Like, with her nice slurred speech, she's gonna be like, "Lauren, there's behind the tree, what a weirdo." And so she's gonna be like really, really just drunk out of her mind, making everything fucking awkward, you know? It's gonna be really bad for him. But it doesn't need to be. And also, one more thing I'm going to mention is that a lot of times introverts can band together. This is not a bad option. Like, this didn't need to happen. Because, you know, a lot of times there will be more than one introvert at the party. And if these two had just band together and planned this out together, they could have just, like, silently been in the same space and it would have been fine. Could have worked out. But maybe these two didn't get along. Which sucks. Because one of them's going to be the odd man out. And the one that's the odd man out is the one that hasn't watched this video. So I would highly suggest that you share this video with every introvert who has been invited to a mandatory work Christmas party so that they don't get stuck hiding behind a tropical tree and a Christmas sweater, being chased by a drunk, extroverted coworker. And I think that's really the moral of the story. Now I wish you luck on your work Christmas party ventures.